Hello, my name is Noah-ish, and welcome back to Illustrator Plays Minecraft. I have acquired some frogs. I mentioned before that I wanted some frogs for this pond. So instead of putting it off and then getting lazy, I figured I would just go and get them. Oh, right, this thing is hollow. Just a cozy little spot for the little froggy. I actually forgot that you can get frogs at normal swamps. I was worried I was gonna have to go all the way to the mangrove swamp, which is pretty far away. Come on, froggy. Get in. Come on. Oh, okay. There we go. And the second one. Ooh, yep. Sounds a lot better. A lot of people mention burying the firefly bush underground, so you can get the fireflies during the day. Oh, okay. It's kind of nice. There aren't as many light particles as I thought there was going to be. I was worried that it was going to get a bit overwhelming, but that's pretty cool. I keep seeing smoke coming out of the ground. Oh, of course, it's the torch. Sorry, little guy. Go back to your ribbiting. And I figured why not put some dry grass here too. Looking pretty good. I also got a lot of comments from people giving some good tips about how to make this forest better. Thank you for those, by the way. So I might tinker around with this a bit more, but I think today the focus is going to be this backyard. There is a lot of work to do here. I want to fill in this tree line, and these chickens will finally get a home. And there's gonna be a workshop over here. I don't think we're gonna have enough time for it today, but we can start thinking about it. So let's detach my face and plan out the area. First thing I want to do is to terraform around this cliff base. Things are a bit too square and straight. And I'm imagining a big tree here as a focal point. And following that, we can expand the forest line with a couple more trees, with the chicken coop going here, which means the workshop will be here-ish. Not too sure what to do in this area, but once everything's in place, I think I might be able to come up with something. Now that we have a good overhead plan, let's start drawing a view from the side. Before I started the main drawing, I first looked at some 19th century chicken coops and used them for reference. I doodled some of them out and decided on this one. With the main drawing, I spent some time focusing on the tree and the shape of its canopy. I also thought about what the branches would look like under all the leaves. I drew it on a separate layer so I can use it for reference later. Behind the tree, the shape of the cliff walls aren't going to change too much, except in the future they'll go a lot taller. It also might be a fun idea to put in some floating rocks. As a quick reminder, the backstory of the world is that there was a huge catastrophe that ripped up chunks of earth and stone, making cliffs and pillars and causing things to float. I decided it might be more interesting if the side of the cliff actually got shattered somehow, and shards of rock got broken off. Then we have the little chicken coop tucked in, slightly behind the tree, with a ruined stone wall on the other side, and more greenery. And of course, we can't forget the little chickens. Alright, so I'm gonna start with terraforming. But first, let's move these chickens. And the furnaces. The plan is to dig up the dirt and non-stone stuff first, to see what we're working with. Let's get up here for a proper look. Okay, it's looking pretty good without doing much else. I dug up some granite in this area, and the space it left behind seems like a good spot for the floating rocks. Ooh, wow, my pickaxe. There we go. And now I will keep on shaping this cliff. I definitely hear lava around here. Yep, there's a lava. Ooh, maybe there could be a purpose for this. The workshop shed is gonna be in this area. Maybe this lava can be a power source. That's kind of exciting to think about. I'm gonna need a bit more space for the tree, so let's round this off. So the tree will go around here, and the chicken coop here. Or maybe more like this. So the bigger of the rock shards can go here. And the smaller one is slightly above it and behind it. Over here. Bulk it up. Shape it. Ow. Oh, hello. Anything good? Nope. And then we can go in and change the block variation. Some andesite near the top, and tough and pale moss for the bottom. Okay, I am getting a bit too nitty-gritty with the details. I think I should take a step back and figure out the bigger picture first. Right? Oh. Right. So let's finish off this cliff with a quick montage. Alright, I think this turned out pretty good. I followed the same block palette as the pillar over here, with the darker stone near the bottom and the lighter ones near the top. I also redid the floating rocks to be a bit more substantial. And I did a little one here with just 2 walls and some glass. I wanted there to be a bit more contrast with the cliff, so I made this darker pillar here. I imagine this portion was pushed upwards separately from the rest of the cliff. And I'm also really liking the deep slate and moss combination. These colors are really appealing to me. I didn't do too much over here. The cliff design is going to be a bit more complicated, so I'll leave it for a different episode. And like with every other cliff around here, it's going to be a lot taller in the future. Because the ground was pushed upwards, the earth around this base should be a bit disturbed, so I'm just going to dig around it. Though world building wise, the event that caused all these rocks to be pushed upwards happened a really long time ago, so enough time has passed for the soil not to be too messed up. Just a tiny bit of erosion. Maybe the soil can also be piled up in some spots too. After terraforming, there's not much room left, so let's move the tree over a smidge, maybe around here. I did some homework in between episodes about tree building, so with that, plus the stuff I learned last episode from making this forest, hopefully this tree turns out okay. First thing is that I want to be more specific with which leaves I use and where to put them. I'm still gonna go for a mostly oak leaf tree, but I'll use spruce and birch for more of the shadowy areas, and maybe mangrove because the texture is looking a bit more dense, and azalea for the highlights. I guess acacia leaves are pretty similar to oak in terms of color, so maybe we won't use that one. And it'll look something like this, with the shadowy leaves in the background, and then the more oaky lighter leaves near the front, and azalea for the highlights. As for the trunk, I do like the brown of the mangrove. It matches the color of spruce pretty well, so I would be able to use spruce slabs and trapdoors. But looking at real oak trees, the bark texture is more vertical, so it might be a bit boring, but maybe I'll just stick with regular oak logs. Well, I guess it's time to start. I'm gonna have the drawing of the tree without the leaves to the side here as I make this, so I can try to follow along with the shape. I'm trying to use more slabs and trapdoors for more droopy branches. Wow, I do not like this at all. So I chopped it all down. Let's start again. It's okay, though it might not look that different from what I originally had. I did pay more attention to having the branches come off of all sides of the trunk, so the tree will hopefully not be as flat as usual. It's not perfect, but I think it's good enough to start on the leaves. I'm gonna take it real slow and really plan out where all the floofiness of the leaves should go. I'm also double checking with the illustration on the general shape of the canopy. So something like this. And then the chicken coop will be back here with a little fence. And the ruin to the side, and some bushes and stuff. Alright, let's get to putting down some leaves. I started off with just the oak leaves, and tried my best to follow the shape of the canopy that I drew. I chopped down a tree that was getting in the way, then went in with the other leaves, the azalea for the highlights, and the spruce and the birch for the darker parts. While making this, I wasn't completely sold on using azalea for the highlights. It just looked a bit too stark. So I changed them out with acacia leaves. Though rewatching the footage, maybe the azalea did work? It's possible that I would have liked it better if the tree was bigger so the highlights wouldn't look so chunky. Or it might just come down to personal preference. Once the leaves were done, I was on a roll, so I worked on the other trees. I expanded the forest floor, and also added some deep slate rocks. And I'm showing this through a montage, not because I lost the footage from accidentally recording a black screen instead of Minecraft. Definitely not. And we're back. And wow, that was a lot. So yes, I finished all this. This side of the house is looking pretty nice and cozy. And it turns out that the biome changes right here. So the leaves are more vibrant compared to the forest, which is pretty lucky. And the birch and spruce leaves as the shadows looks pretty good. Whenever I walk by the tree, I keep seeing things that I want to change. So don't be surprised if there are subtle changes later on. Alright, let's start on the ruined stone structure that'll go here. And maybe we can have the remnant of some sort of arch here too. And we can add glass so the walls have the little nubs coming out of them. Alright, maybe a bit wider so the glass doesn't connect. Like in... And I think we'll put a firefly bush under here too. It's great how just adding a little bit of floating light particles adds so much. It's so tempting to put all these fireflies everywhere. Boop. Boop. Okay. From this view, the ruin gets a bit lost because of the sameness of the gray. So I tried adding in some more greenery. But in the end, I just switched out the stone to deep slate. Yeah, that looks better. And finally, it's time for the chicken coop. So the coop will be around here. And we can have the fence come out like this. Or maybe a bit more pushed back. Might as well give the chickens a lot of space. And we can use upside down stairs for the little legs holding up the coop. I'm gonna use mangrove. And we're gonna go with spruce trapdoors for the walls. I wonder if we'll ever get vertical slabs. A little window so someone can reach in to gather eggs. And we'll go gate, fence, gate. Over in this corner, I imagine the tree casts more of a shadow, so I'll change out the oak with some jungle. And let's rough up the ground. Add some dry grass, leaves. Let's do the rail as a ladder trick, and the coral fan for the nest. Thinking about switching out the door to something else. Maybe copper? And there can be another one above the coop entrance, so you can secure the chickens during the nighttime. Do I like the copper? Ooh, fireflies. Oh. I think I'll go with jungle trapdoors. And finally, it's ready for chickens. These raiders have just been watching me this entire time. Oh well. Let's go, guys! Are you excited? Maybe I should mention why these chickens are important. All 4 of them got hatched from a single egg. I don't have name tags yet, but in my mind I'm calling them Bok, Bok Bok, Bok Bok Bok, and Bok 4. Come on, let's go. Okay, come on in, guys. Your siblings are having a hard time with their pathfinding. Well. Ooh, that looks concerning. Pretty sure you can't get out of there, but maybe I should fix it just in case. I'll just expand this fenced area. Oh, maybe that fixed their pathfinding. Wait, nope, they're still going. Let's do some last minute touch-ups, fix up the ground here. Grass. More grass. Well, they might not be the smartest, but they're pretty cute. Finally, after so many episodes, they have a proper home. Oh, are the raiders gone? Nope, they're not. Oh boy. Please leave. Excuse me. Ah. Oh, the door tactic. Ooh, I gotta eat. Wait, no. Ow, no. I'm now armored. You can now leave. Thank you. Goodbye. Ow. Whoop. Maybe this is a sign that I should keep my armor on. Nah. So I've been tweaking some parts of this forest off screen whenever I wanted a break from working on the backyard. There aren't that many changes, but I did thin down some of the leaves that are on the ground. They've also been changed out to mangrove leaves because they're a bit more denser and darker. And some of the tree leaves were changed up to birch. Most notably this one. Still not the best forest you'll ever see, but it's looking better. I did a couple more last minute tweaks. I changed up the blocks for the archway so it doesn't look like there's a floating block, and I fiddled around with the leaves. So for the next episode, I'm gonna be working on the workshop. Let's dig up that lava pit I found. This is really dangerous. I'm gonna put up a safety wall for now. Maybe the workshop can be slightly embedded into the cliff face, and there could be some sort of system to siphon up the lava. Okay, I'm excited. I'll have to start brainstorming. I just had a thought. What would it look like if I put some lighter greens into the ground? Kinda like the sunlight is filtering through the leaves. Maybe it's a bit weird, but I'll keep it. There was also this thing that I saw Good Times with Scar do, where you would punch out a column of leaves so that the light can come down straight from the top. He did his on his redwood trees, which are gigantic, so I don't think we'll have the same effect here. But it might be nice to have some light on the trunk. I think it's slightly brighter now? Okay, I actually had to go back and review the footage to compare, and yes, it is lighter. Not a super dramatic effect, but it's nice. I'm happy that this area around my base is finally coming together. Though I've been doing a lot of trees and naturey things recently, so I'm looking forward to working on a building again. That'll be it for this episode today. As always, thank you all so much. It's still baffling to me that people are watching these videos. So thanks again. I hope to see you soon. Bye!